Jennifer Lopez's $10 million payday. Songstress faces mockery for endorsing wedding rings despite Ben Affleck divorce. In the glitzy world of Hollywood, engagement rings have always been more than jewelry. They're symbols of love, commitment, hope. So what happens when the face of sparkle and romance lines up $1 million campaign for wedding rings, just months after a high-profile divorce? That's exactly what happened. Jennifer Lopez, a global superstar once known for headline-making engagements and extravagant diamond rings, is now fronting a new jewelry campaign. But instead of admiration, her move has sparked questions, mockery, and some serious public reaction. Today, we explore the $10 million payday, the timing, the criticism, and what this pivot says about fame, love, commerce, and resilience. Fade in, archival photos of Lopez and Affleck together, their engagement ring close-ups, then transition to recent campaign shots of Lopez modeling engagement rings for the brand. For many, the romance of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck was a real-life fairy tale. Old flames reignited, love rekindled, an 8.5-carat green diamond engagement ring that grabbed global headlines. But the fairy tale had a rough ending. In August 2024, Lopez filed for divorce, and by January 2025, the split was finalized. Legal documents confirmed that Lopez would keep the green diamond ring as part of the settlement. That ring had symbolized hope, commitment, and, for many, the idea of forever. The engraving on the band, "Not going anywhere," once felt like a promise. Now, just months later, Lopez finds herself associated once again with engagement rings, but this time, not as a bride-to-be, but as a marketer. Enter Zen Diamond, a Turkish jewelry brand. In late 2025, the company announced Jennifer Lopez as its global ambassador for a new engagement rings campaign, reportedly paying her $10 million for the deal. In the campaign photos, Lopez appears in classic wedding-style imagery: bridal white gowns, diamond rings on her fingers, and romantic, high-gloss frames designed to evoke love, commitment, and forever. But the deal is red flags. For many fans and critics, it's a sharp pivot given the timing. Only months after her divorce from Affleck. Insiders say Lopez, aware of the scrutiny, nonetheless signed on. One source claims she wants to remind everyone she is still that woman, desirable, romantic, someone a man should want to propose to. Another added that after a lukewarm reception to her recent music and a drop in endorsement values, Lopez's team might be focused on staying relevant, even if it means courting controversy. From a purely financial perspective, $10 million sounds like a big win. But in Lopez's world, where previous endorsement deals reportedly reached $20 to $30 million, sometimes even $50 million, some see this as a pay cut, a sign that her brand value may be shifting. The reaction was swift. Within hours of campaign launch, social media and tabloids lit up with criticism, jokes, and harsh commentary. Some called it ironic, perhaps tasteless, that a woman with 4 divorces and multiple past engagement rings is now selling engagement rings to hopeful romantics. One marketing insider was quoted saying, "People immediately started joking she would be seen as a curse on Zen's engagement rings. Who does she think she is, being the face of engagement rings with her relationship history?" Others questioned whether buyers would take the brand seriously. Who wants to pay for an engagement ring endorsed by someone whose own relationships haven't lasted? Fans also accused her of chasing youth, desperately chasing media attention, or trading authenticity for a paycheck. "It's madness," one insider told Radar Online, but at the end of the day it was another payday for her. Yet not all reactions were negative. Some saw it as empowerment, Lopez reclaiming the narrative, showing that heartbreak doesn't define you, and that jewelry can be more than symbols of relationships. So what do we learn from this reveal? Beyond the glint of diamonds and tabloid headlines, a few takeaways. Celebrity endorsements are about image, not truth. For brands like Zen Diamond, it's less about the star's love life, more about the value of fame, glamour, and allure. Lopez's history becomes a backdrop, not the main story. Rings as aspirational objects, divorced from meaning. Engagement rings have always been sentimental, but this campaign turns them into commodities, products people buy not for love, but for the fantasy, the idea, the social signal. Celebrities rebranding heartbreak. For Lopez, this might be a statement: relationships ended, but sparkle survives. Maybe it's not about realism, it's about resilience and reinvention. The price of relevance. Some insiders suggest Lopez took this lower-tier deal not because she needed the money, but because she wants to stay in the headlines. In that sense, this campaign is as much about Lopez's career survival as it is about selling jewelry. When I saw the headlines, Jennifer Lopez sells engagement rings for $10 million, I did a double take. I mean, after what happened with Jennifer, is this tone deaf or bold? Exactly. On one hand, maybe it's crass. But on the other, maybe it's empowerment. Who says a ring's only value is romantic? Maybe it's just a diamond with whichever meaning you want to give it. But isn't there hypocrisy there? Someone going through a high-profile divorce, with a long history of failed relationships, now pitching rings as symbols of commitment and love. True. But we also live in a world where image sells. People don't buy the story, they buy the sparkle, the dream, the marketing. And celebrities know that better than anyone. Engagement rings, for decades, have stood for hope, love, forever. For some, they mark the beginning of something beautiful. For others, they become relics of heartbreak. In 2025, Jennifer Lopez transformed those symbols into business. Diamonds once meant to seal vows are now part of a marketing campaign. The sparkle remains, the story changes. Whether you see it as ironic, empowering, cynical, or simply savvy, one thing is clear. In Hollywood, even heartbreak can be monetized.